Hello and welcome to this episode of SPSS one-on-one series with the Warrior Analytics. Today we look at how to run longitudinal data analysis in SPSS when you have a binary outcome. When you have repeated measurements of a binary outcome on the same participants. In this episode, this is the dataset we are going to use, and we have a variable called ID that uniquely identifies participants. We can see that we have one repeated 4 times, meaning this is the same individual but measured at 4 different time points. If this is in months, we have measurement at 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and 4 months. Then we go to participant 2, also has measurements from 1, 2, 3, and 4 months. Same thing for participant 3. Even 5, you can see that we have measurements from 1, 2, 3, and 4 months. So these are repeated measurements, but of an outcome that is categorical in nature, that is either controlled or uncontrolled hypertension. At every month when someone comes back, do they have controlled hypertension or not? Based on the treatment that you're giving them. Others are taking the placebo, others are taking the new treatment. So this data would be fit for longitudinal data analysis. So to run a longitudinal data analysis, simply go to Analyze, go to Generalized Linear Models and use Generalized Estimating Equations. And within this, here we specify that variable which uniquely identifies each individual. When you look at our data set, our ID variable, although someone has 4 different repeated measurements, but each person has the same number. So that is our subject variable. Then we have within subject variables, the variable that shows where the repeated measurements are taking place. So in this variable, we have it as time, and then our working correlation matrix, we are going to change this to unstructured, provided the robust estimator is checked. The working correlation matrix may not affect your results much. Then under type of model, this time round we have a binary outcome. So we are going to use the binary logistic as the link function. Then under response, we are going to put in our outcome variable as the dependent variable. And then the predictors, we are going to specify our 2 predictors here as factors. If you have numerical variables, you can put them here. In our previous episode, we saw how you can treat time as either a categorical variable or a continuous variable. You can check it out, how that one is done. And then, under options, we are going to select descending so that the lowest coded becomes our reference category. Click continue, and then within model, we are going to use all the variables as main effects, put them in this model, but we also want to get the interaction between time and our predictor. So we shall put this, we shall change this to interaction and then push it into our model. So these are the 3 hypotheses that we test in longitudinal data analysis. We have hypotheses about the group, where you're hypothesizing that groups are not different at baseline or there is no group effect. We are also hypothesizing that the outcome doesn't change over time or there is no time effect. And lastly, in longitudinal data analysis, we are hypothesizing that there is no group time interaction effect, or the exposure variable does not alter the way the outcome changes over time. In other words, does not alter the pattern of the mean response over time. So once this is set, simply click OK, and you look at the output. You will be provided with the model information, what is the outcome, the probability distribution we are using, We are using the binomial, the logit function, ID and time, plus the unstructured working correlation structure. Then we have the case processing summary. What has been included is 360, but in reality we have a sample size of 90, only that each participant has got 4 measurements. So 90 times 4, you will get 360. We have the categorical variable information here, have the outcome, have the time as a categorical variable, and then treatment. We have here a test of model effects, which shows you which of your variables in the model are statistically significant. From this, we can see that time is statistically significant, treatment statistically significant, but the interaction of time on treatment effect is not statistically significant. Then here are our parameter estimates. We have our table that shows you the parameters, the coefficients. We have the p-values this side. For a binary outcome or a categorical outcome, the interpretation of the coefficients are in terms of natural log of odds. For example, this one here, the intercept would mean this is the natural log of odds of outcome among patients on placebo at time 0 or at baseline time. When we come to interpreting one of the coefficients for time, since it is considered categorical, we have one of the groups being considered as a reference category. So we are interpreting this group compared to this one. So that coefficient would be the expected difference in the natural log of outcome among patients on placebo as they move from baseline to time 1. In this case, as they move from time 1, which is the baseline, to time 2, which is the next time point. When we look at treatment, still it has a reference category, and so we are interpreting these compared to the reference. So this coefficient would mean the expected difference in natural log of odds of outcome among patients on treatment compared to placebo at time 0 or baseline time. As you can see, it is very hard to interpret the coefficient in terms of log odds or the natural log of odds. So I highly recommend you go and get the exponents of beta, which show the odds ratios. So here, simply go to Analyze, Generalized Linear Models, Generalized Estimating Equations. You will find your model is still there. So under Statistics, I want you to check Include Exponential Parameter Estimates. Click on it, then click Continue. So in your new output, you can see that once you have a binary outcome, you have the odds ratios that you can interpret. So that's how to use generalized estimating equations to analyze your longitudinal data in SPSS. In this video, we've looked at a scenario where your outcome is binary. Previously, we looked at a scenario where your outcome is a continuous variable. If you find this video useful, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. I'll be very grateful. If you have any questions for me, simply leave them in the comment section. I'll be glad to help. See you in the next episode.